Alright, so in order to create our first web page, we're going to open up a program called Notepad++. So to do that, we'll go down here to the Start menu, and we'll start searching for Notepad, and you see here a program called Notepad++. That's a free text editor that you can download for Windows. There's a Mac program called Text Wrangler that's free, that's highly recommended. Any Notepad software or free text editor will allow you to edit HTML code, and that's basically the language that you need to learn to create your own web page. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Notepad++, and actually what it's going to look like when you open it is just this blank window like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some code that I've already created to teach you the basic building blocks of every single web page on the internet. So if you take a look here, this is HTML, and this is the framework of every single page on the web. You can see here, we'll go through the tags, every element between these brackets. This is a tag. So this is saying this is an HTML file that is basically not part of the body of the web page, but that's just for your information. This tag is saying that we're going to begin the HTML code. This tag is saying that we're going to begin the head of the web page. This is where we're going to put information that doesn't appear in the body of the page. For example, within the head, we see the title. So this tag says that we're starting the title, and this tag says we're ending the title. And you can see that it's starting the title and ending the title, because the first one just says bracket title, and the second one you can see there's a minor difference, but it's a big one. It says bracket and then slash title, and the slash means end. So this means start title, and this means end title. So as you probably guessed, what are we going to put within that? We're going to put the title of our web page. So I want my web page to be called My Web Page, and that's the title that's going to appear in the web browser when I open up my web page, and you'll see that in a couple of minutes. So as you probably guessed, this tag means, you want to say it out loud? Good. I think you got it. End head. So we started the head. Within the head, we had the title that started and ended, and now we end the head. So within the head is the title. Hopefully that makes sense. So now, I think you know what we're starting, the body. And do you know what the body is? I think you do. What do you think? If you said it's the main body of the web page, the part that you see in your browser window, that is correct. So, H1, this is a heading. And a heading is basically text that is big, bigger than normal text, to basically offset it somehow, like your title or a section break or a chapter heading. So H1 is the biggest heading that you can possibly have. So we're going to start H1, start heading 1, my first heading, end H1, the end of our first heading. You've probably guessed what this is. Start H2, slightly smaller heading. I think there are about 5 or 6 headings usually that you can use. You can try them out. Start H2, second heading, end H2, so now we're ending the second heading. So now the P tag. P is for paragraph, and we need that because we need to tell the code, we need to tell the browser basically using our HTML code that we are creating a paragraph and then ending a paragraph so that it knows to move on to the next paragraph. It's kind of like if you were speaking a different language to someone. The browser is translating the HTML into a visual sort of output that the person looking at your web page can see. They don't see the code. They see what the browser translated. So you're providing the original language that the browser is going to display. So you're telling the browser, start a new paragraph, my first paragraph we're calling it, end a paragraph, right? Now we want another paragraph. Another paragraph, so just P, right? Second paragraph, end paragraph, right? Hope you're with me. Very good. So now we're going to take a look here. This is the code for a link. And I want you to look very closely at this. So there's an A, which is basically starting the link, and then there's an attribute for a link It's href, like ahref. That's how I remember it. And there's always a space. Then it's the equal sign. This is telling you what page you want to link to. Then it's in quotes. This is the URL of the web page you want to link to. Ooh, look. It needs to be wrapped in quotes like that. So you can see this is starting the link, ahref, google.com. And then on the other side of those words is end a. That ends the link. So start the link with ahref, and then the web page you want to link to, end a to end the link. And within that, what text are you going to put? You've probably guessed. You're going to put the text that you want to be a link. So in this case, it's going to say my first link. And if it works, that is going to link to Google. This is a break. This is a manual break. It's sometimes handy. If you want to put a space between images or whatever in your document, it's just the tag BR for break. It's just a single break. If you wanted to, you could do 2 BRs. Okay, you'll see how that looks in a minute. Now we're going to take a look at images. So after 2 line breaks, the words on the web page are going to appear, my first image. And as you probably understand by now, anything that's not in these brackets is regular text that's going to appear on the page. Anything that's in brackets is code. You don't see the code on the page when it's published. You do see anything outside of the code, right? The code's kind of like the little secret language in the background. So now I'm going to create my first image. So in the tag, it's going to be image and then space src, like source. It's an abbreviation for source, equals. And then here we're just going to paste the URL of any image file that we can find that's on the internet. So in this case, I just made up an image. When you're linking to it, when you're inserting an image, make sure that it has a file extension at the end, like .jpeg, .gif, .png. If it doesn't have a dot something at the end, it's probably not an image file, and when you insert it, it might not work. So make sure that you're actually getting the URL to the image, not the page the image is on. Okay? So image source equals, make sure we have our quotation marks. We've got our image. We're going to put it in there, and then that should appear, right? And then the next tag, what do you think that is? End body, right? Does that remind you of something? Look up here on line 7. Body, meaning start body, end body, right? Everything within those 2 tags is the entire body of our website, and it could be hundreds of pages, or it could just be 2 words. But we need to start the tag and end the tag in order to tell it where to put all of the information that we're typing in the web browser, right? And then the final tag, end HTML. And does that remind you of something up at the top? Start HTML, end HTML. And that is the end of our code, right? So now we're going to look at some helpful tips in our next video.